Right, hello everyone, this is John. Obviously your Predator Golf Club team captain, and this is the final one for the how to play aggressive winning golf series. I forgot to put it out there. I did the how to. Now we've covered a lot. This is for the higher handicappers. This is for your 20 plus handicappers who want to learn how to get into competitive golf. And I haven't picked the best day for its wind yourself, but I have got the whole field to myself, so that's why I've done it. It's 30 odd mile an hour wind, so bear with me. And the shots mightn't be a true reflection of the shot shape and things, but I'll give you the basic techniques and then you can go work on them yourselves. Right, so we've covered a lot. We've done how to putt aggressively, the chippikg 101, the hinge and hold method. Obviously we've gone through how to hit bombs, and I must stress this out. I have to stress this again. They are not drives to be used in every single drive. These are drives that you probably are going to be using maybe 2 or 3 holes per round. You don't use them regularly. They are only used when necessary. The final one is how to attack pins. Okay, so what we're going to learn here is shot shaping and how to manipulate the ball flight. It's going to be very, very simple. It sounds complex. It's not complex, trust me. There's the very simple way. Phil, Gary Player, all these guys make it very, very simple. I'll try and make it simple for you. I've basically learned from these guys, so I'll try and make it simple for you. Not involving all the handwork and body shape. It's 2 very simple things, okay, for shot shaping, okay. It's just basically stance and grip. That's all it is for shot shaping, to actually shape your shots. Manipulating the ball flight we'll do second. But basically, shot shaping is there's a lot of different ways you can shot shape. There's obviously the difficult way. I prefer the easy way. So for shot shaping, basically everyone knows for the bog standard shot, you have your neutral stance, neutral grip, and I'm just going to use a 7-iron here just to demonstrate. And it's very simple. If you have a neutral stance, neutral grip, middle of the stance, the ball goes pretty much straight. Obviously the wind's blowing heavily this way, so it's not great, but the ball generally goes pretty straight. Like I say, it's got a bit of, the ball's going to go that way because the wind's very strong that way. That's your basic shot. Now let's say, for example, if there's a pin to the left hand side, you go, okay, well how are we going to attack that? We can't do that with a neutral shot. It's okay if the pin's in the middle of the green. What happens if it's tucked in the left hand corner? It's very simple. If we want a little cut, all we do is we just open the stance and grip. Very simple. So instead of being neutral, this time I'm going to open my stance up slightly, open my grip up very, very slightly. Now obviously the wind's going to fly in that way, so it's not gonna fade, but in general circumstances you just open your stance, open your grip, and the ball should tail a little bit to my left, which would be a right-hander's right, like that. And that one's gone pretty straight. Considering the wind's blowing 30 mile an hour that way, that's gone straight. That would have had a little fade on it without the wind, normal circumstances, so you're going to attack a pin on the left-hand side. Okay, so what happens if the pin's on the right-hand side? Very simple. We're just doing the total opposite. All we're doing is we're closing our stance and slightly closing our grip. So in this case, you can have the ball slightly further in your stance as well to help you go more rounded on it. It's a little bit more rounded. So you're closing your stance, you're closing your grip very slightly. And this time the ball should turn left to right for me. Oh, that wasn't too great. I've thicked that a little bit. I'll do another one for you. It was in a bit of a ball patch, to be honest. I shouldn't have hit it out the ball patch. And there you go. You can see the ball's going left to right. So I can now attack a pin onto the right-hand side. And that's the basics for shot shaping. We're only doing 2 things. We're only adjusting our grip and adjusting our stance. And then it's just down to you to manipulate how much you want to do it. You work out how much you can draw it. if you want to draw up more, obviously you close your stance more, close the face more, and just experiment with it. And that's all shot shaping is. It's not difficult. You don't have to do risky stuff. You don't have to do anything like that. The complexities will come onto them later, the rounded hook and the slice. But I don't want to go into that just yet. What I want to do now is just simply tell you how to manipulate the ball flight. Now, let's say, for example, if we've got plateau greens, elevated greens. Now, you've seen me a few times in my videos say I'm going to put it in the front of the stance. Now, the reason I'm putting the ball to the front of my stance isn't just because it feels more comfortable. The reason is I'm trying to get more height on the ball. I'm trying to get a higher apex so the ball lands softer, especially when the pin's to the front, or especially when the ball, when the greens, are raised up, and I'm trying to get a softer landing to check the greens up. This is really, really good for elevated plateau greens, good at Parkland golf and everything. Not so great at links golf, but if you've got an elevation change and you want the ball to land softer, it's very, very simple. So if you want to manipulate the ball flight now, I'll show you middle of the stance, your standard ball flight, middle of the stance with the 7-iron. Okay, there's your standard ball flight, okay? Now, if I'm wanting to go higher, if I put it to the front of the stance, I go right to the front of the stance here. You can see it's a much higher ball flight. That's going to come down, it's going to check quicker, it's going to land softer. I'm probably going to lose 4 or 5 miles an hour off my shot because it's going right up in the air unless the wind's helping and it's pushing the ball across. It will come out shorter, it will come out 4 or 5 yards shorter, so you've got to factor that in, but it will land softer, it will check up quicker for you. Now, see if you're hitting it into the wind, say in links golf, or the wind's strong and you don't want the ball to balloon in the air, you then do back of the stance. Simple as that. You're using you're driving the club through, you're using your chest more, but basically you're just putting the ball to the back of the stance. Now the ball will go a little bit more left on you because you're hitting the ball earlier in the arc, and the club face doesn't generally have the time to turn to square up properly, so usually it does pull off a little bit left. But you just adjust for it, you put it at the back of the stance, drive it through, and it comes out in a nice low ball flight as such, like this. You can see how much lower that is, that's going to run on, and that's very good for links golf, very good for links. So keeping it low, keeping it on the deck, and the ball doesn't generally fly about all over the place as you would at links golf. If the wind was like it is today, I'd be playing a lot of them shots and not throwing the ball up in the air. So that's basically just manipulating the ball flight. Dead simple, just back of the stance, front of the stance. When you're at the back of the stance, feel as if you're driving your chest a little bit more to try and drive the ball, keep it low, nice low penetrating flight. Complexities, it's just putting the two together. That's all the complexities are. So say for example we wanted to do say a low fade, like this is what Trevino was famous for in links golf. He used to do little low cuts through the wind. That's all he did. He just put the ball at the back of the stance, he just opened the grip, opened his stance, and just cut through the ball very simply, like that. That's all Trevino did. Very, very simple. That's how he played links golf. That's how he learned how to play links golf. He would do the same with the draw. He would just put it to the back of his stance, only this time he would close his stance and his grip as such. That's curling around a little bit. I haven't hit it great, but I'm rushing the shot. But you can see generally what Trevino was doing. That's all he was doing. He wasn't doing anything fancy with his hands. He wasn't doing anything fancy with all his body position and everything. All he was doing was changing his grip and his stance. Same as Phil, same as Gary Player, same as all these guys who've won majors. They keep it simple. I'm not going to hit the ball because I don't know how it's going to react. But you're going to say, right, if you get stuck behind a tree now for shot shaping, what do we do? Right, there's the rounded hook and the rounded slice. Now these shots, to deliberately do these shots, you only want to do these when you desperately need them, okay? Because these are not consistent, these are not at our level. We can't consistently hit slices and hooks and all that kind of stuff. But what you're doing, first of all, if you want to get around a tree, which is my right to left. Okay, I'll show you this way. I'm not going to hit any balls, like I say, because I don't know where the hell they're gonna fly all over the place. But basically, if you're wanting to get round a tree right to left, again, you're opening the grip and opening the stance, but this time, instead of just a normal neutral swing, you're coming in steeper. You're coming at a steeper angle. You're coming wide and you're cutting through the ball. Okay, you're slicing it through. You're going through like that, and that'll make the ball hook, slice deliberately like that. If you want the ball to go, would be my left to right. For a right hand, would be right to left, and you want to hook it round a tree. There is a technique. Again, it's not very consistent. I give the example of a square, the flick through square leg and cricket, because that was my sport. So that's what comes natural to me. Phil does it's more like a top spin and table tennis. When you're whipping it, you're whipping the wrists through like that. Now, generally, we don't like to use wrists in golf shots, but on this occasion, if you want a big rounded hook, that's what you've got to do. Same thing. You close the grip in the stance. But you're doing a more rounded swing, and it's as if it's a top hand shot in table tennis. You're trying to whip it round like that. With me, you'll see me. I've done it before, where that was from my cricket days. I used to play the shot through square leg. So that's how it's natural to me. But a lot of people say the best example is a ping pong top hand spin shot, and that'll get the ball to hook all the way around, and that's it. That's shot shaping in a nutshell. It's not difficult. You don't have to do anything complicated. You don't have to do anything risky, or all you're changing is the grip. We'll put it all together. All you're changing is your grip, your stance. If you want to manipulate the ball flight in the ball position. That's the three dead simple things. And then after that, all you've got to do, you've got to go to the range, and it will take you 2 or 3 weeks. It took me a while to develop how much to close my stance, open my stance, how much I want the ball to cut, how much I want it to draw. You've seen me play shots at Durham City and stuff, and I've said, right, I'm closing my face, closing my stance, and it's just experimentation as to how much I want the ball to draw and fade. To be perfectly honest, I'm still not quite at the level where I know exactly how much I'm going to draw it and fade it. I don't think anyone does, really. I don't even think the professionals, apart from the very top ones, know exactly what they're doing. But that's shot shaping. It's very, very simple. Like I say, straight shot, neutral stance, neutral ball flight, like that. And basically, from our grip, our stance, and where we put the ball in the position, like I say, we can very simply hit a standard shot from here. We can hit a high shot from here. We can hit a low shot from here. Dead simple. And then after that, it's just changing the grip and the stance. Very, very simple. That's shot shaping. So hopefully that's everything covered. I think I've covered absolutely everything. If I haven't covered something that you're struggling with, and you want me to do something to help you, if I can, I will do that. But I think that's just about it done. So you've got absolutely everything now, you hire handicappers, to go out there. You've got all the simple techniques, work on those techniques. Once you've mastered those techniques, you've got everything in your power to go out there and really be aggressive and attack any course you want, really. You know how to hit bombs now, you know how to shot shape now, you know how to manipulate the ball flight now, you know how all the different wedge shots around the green, and you know how to putt aggressively now. I think you've just about got everything. I haven't done fairway bunkers, but do I need to do fairway bunkers, or do you really want me to do fairway bunkers, or can you watch somebody who's the master like Phil or somebody like that instead of me? Because like I say, I'm not the master. I'm just copying what these guys do. So yeah, this is John. That's Predator Golf Channel. That's it done. Subscribe and like if you think what I'm doing is helping you and everything. And that's it. Thanks very much. See you later. Ta-ra. See you now. Bye.